Hey, John Hickok here. Got the 1897 Winchester pump action shotgun designed by John Moses Browning. You might remember him from such designs as Everything That's Good. So go ahead and take some shots with it. All right, just 5 in there. For some reason, I had some shells earlier. We tried to do the video just a second ago, and I got like 3 light strikes on it. It only likes certain shells, it seems like. That's what you get with these older guns. But these, it would hold 6, but it only holds 5 of these, because that's what you get with these older things. They're designed for certain shells that don't exist anymore, and and things change, and it's kind of tough sometimes to find ammo that works perfectly in guns that are this old. But speak. All right, let's load this thing up again. It's very smooth to operate. It's a little awkward in some ways to manipulate compared to modern shotguns, but still pretty smooth. I mean, it's obviously very worn in. This one's been shot a lot. It was made in the early 30s, this particular one. So they've been making these for a pretty good while at this point. What's that? About 30 years, from 1897 to 32 or something like that. So they had time to get it right. All right, let's go ahead and just take out the 2 liters. Why not? All right, this one, I was trying to go fast. Let's load it up again. So chapter 2, of course, going to try to shoot it a lot. So I want to tell you some things too, but I got to get some shooting out of my system. That's what you guys want to see anyways. All right, it's probably not going to take another one. Yeah, normally it would hold 6. Okay. Yeah, it feels good. It operates pretty well, and a lot of people would consider this to be the first pump shotgun, especially based on movies and lots of things. It's kind of like sort of considered, I think, by just kind of the general public that it is one of the first pump shotguns. But of course, that's not true. Nothing has ever been the first of anything. I dare you to make a YouTube video and say something is the first. You will be 100% wrong. So before this, there was the 1893 pump shotgun, which was also developed by John Browning, and it's very similar. It did not accept smokeless powder, so that was one of the upgrades. I mean, it looks almost the same. You can see there's like a little cutout here on the 93. That's like one of the only ways to tell. But this one's got better steel in it. They were a little behind the times in 93 making a pump shotgun. Even then, they could only accept black powder shells. And of course, that wasn't the first. Before that, Spencer, the guy who invented the Spencer carbine that was used in the Civil War, that you should be familiar with, him and a guy named Roper also had their own design of a pump shotgun that goes all the way back to 1882. And it wasn't super successful. I think they sold a few of them, and the company went bankrupt in like sometime in the 1889 or something like that. And in 1890, this other guy, Bannerman, he bought the rights to it, started making their shotguns, and actually apparently was suing Winchester when Winchester started the 93, and it was kind of a whole mess, and they ended up winning, obviously, and they started production on this one around the time that lawsuit kind of wrapped up. And if you think Spencer invented the pump shotgun, you're still wrong, because the first patent on it was like back in the 1850s or something like that. So there's never a first, and there was probably a guy before that like had a dream about a pump shotgun in the 1600s, and he told someone, and they were like, "What's a shotgun?" And he just like, threw it in the fires, and no one ever knew about it. So there's always, with guns, it's like, if you ever say any gun was the first, you're wrong. You're 100% going to be wrong. But still, I feel kind of comfortable saying, like, you know, in a sense, this was like the first pump shotgun because, you know, they made a ton of these. They made like 1 million of them, and literally, I think about 1 million of them. And you know, you look at old photos. That's the thing. Old photos don't lie. You know, like just go look at a bunch of old photos of police and, you know, Texas Rangers and different stuff. And this is what you're gonna see. I guess it'd be hard to tell if it's a 93 or not necessarily, but this is like the first very popular shotgun. It's very iconic. You know, these in more recent years have been popular for cowboy action shooting, and that's actually was kind of the history of this gun. Of course, it did a lot of stuff for about 60 or 70 years before cowboy action shooting came around, but that's where this one came from. Dad got it from a guy that was using it in cowboy action shooting. So pretty cool. Let's load it up again. I like these guns for the historical aspect, but they're a little clunky to me, like having the exposed hammer and everything. Not to, you know, talk badly about a John Browning design or anything. I mean, he was a victim of his time, of course, but you know, when you compare it to a modern shotgun or even things that came out just a little bit later, like the Model 12 and stuff like that, it you know, feels a little clunky with the exposed hammer, you know, and the big lifter that comes down. You know, like I always feel like it's gonna come back and hit me in the hand. You know, I feel like the yeah, I love the corn cob, as they call it, pump. But it's you know, it's a little small. It could definitely be a little bit bigger. Let's load it up again. Oh, and this gun, put it on half cock. It's kind of like the safety on this thing. Is it on? Let's see. Yeah, there it is. Now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, this shotgun has one special feature that is notorious for, even though there are others that have it from the early days, is it will slam fire, as it's called. And I will demonstrate that right now. Now, some people, it's a little overrated. Some people think that if you can slam fire a shotgun, that you can shoot it a lot faster. But I don't think there's really that much difference, to be honest. I would say I would do an experiment, but it'd be kind of hard to do that. I would need like 2 different guns, one that can't, you know, to compare it, which we didn't get out today. But I will slam fire it and show you at least how fast that is. All right, so I believe I put a round in it. Let's just do it on the burn barrel here, so I don't have to worry about too much accuracy or anything. All right. So I mean, it's pretty fast, but it's a lot harder to be accurate with it because you know it's going to fire as soon as you pull it out, whereas that extra, you know, 1/8 of a second to make sure you're on target and then pull the trigger, it's going to be almost as fast, and you're going to have a lot more rounds on target. I feel like here, let me do that. I'm just going to shoot it without slam firing it, and you'll just have to trust me on that. Barrel's heating up a little bit. Shotguns are so much fun too. You get, you know, for the price of, like, you know, I'm just shooting regular, you know, 7.5 inch third shot or 7 shot, 7.5 shot. It's you know, a lot of bang for the buck, pun intended. All right, on the burn barrel again, no slam fire. And I probably could have done it a little faster, honestly, than that. Part of it is the size of the pump. It's a little bit too small. I feel like my hand's going to slip off of it, or I'm going to grab the barrel too much, and it's getting hot. But the big difference was it wasn't so sporadic and chaotic. Like I could see where the rounds are going. And another thing, it's a little bit of a safety issue. Now, don't get me wrong, not to the point where, like, I think guns should, if they want to have it, they should have it. I'm not saying we should be protected from it or anything like that, but I will say that if I was the head of like a police department or something, or like I knew a bunch of people who were not familiar with guns, we're going to get these, I wouldn't necessarily want it to have the slam fire ability, because that's like more training that you'd have to go through, just because, you know, the off chance someone's not paying attention, they got their, you know, they're violating one of the basic rules of gun safety. They got their finger on the trigger and they're loading and it fires, you know. So it's an extra thing you have to be aware of, and it doesn't really have much advantage, much less advantage than even like full auto, which people will say doesn't have a lot of advantage. So, you know, but it's fun. It's a fun little novelty. It's one of the perks of these old shotguns. Let's see, we got some more stuff to shoot up. And these things can still be had for pretty reasonable prices too. You can find them out there. Like I said, they made a lot of them. Yeah, you've got the Chinese clones of these, which I don't think I've shot one. I may have, and I just can't remember. But I've not heard good things about them. So you're better off to try to find an original if you can. They got some of these pots and buckets and things. All right. Oh, we got to do at least one more. I got to shoot the target. I always forget to shoot the paper target. But these are a lot of fun. I mean, it's a interesting time in firearms history, because you can kind of really see with this thing how it's kind of a clunky version of what we think of as a pump shotgun, but it's sort of like the what do I say, the bleeding edge of technology, you know, in a lot of ways. Kind of like the you know, the STG-44, you know, the German rifle. It's like, it's clunky. Like, I've shot one. They're awkward, but also you have to respect it because you understand the time that it came out in, you know. I'll tell you what, I'm going to slam fire this everything I've got in here on the target. Why not? See if I can get a better grip on it here, do a better job. Yeah, it's just really not easy, to be honest. To do it truly fast, it's not that easy. I have to practice with it a lot, but there you go. Hope you got some, you know, something out of that video. It's always fun to shoot these old guns. You know, like there's something really neat and special about it. It's like those of you, if you've never shot old guns, if you've maybe driven or ridden in an old car or something like that, you know, it's like you're getting to experience something the way people did, people just like us, but they were living in a different time. You know, there's something kind of special about that, creating that connection between people now and people of the past. And guns are a big part of our history, so it's a neat way to experience the past, basically. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed that, and I will catch you on the next one. Oh yeah, that's better. This is a great gun for defense. Oh hey, didn't see you guys there. While I've got you here, I want to remind you of our friends over at Talon Grips and Ballistol. Talon Grips makes grips, can you believe it, for all different types of firearms. You can get rough texture or more of a rubberized texture. It just sticks right on there. You know, really affordable, really cool option to improve the grip for your handguns or rifles. So please check them out at talongungrips.com. You'll be glad you did. And also Ballistol. Dad has been using Ballistol for many years. It's a cleaner and a lubricant, and it's non-toxic. It works really great, and we're happy to have them on board since it's been a part of our shooting endeavor for a very long time. So go to ballistol.com, talongungrips.com, and also while you're out there, I'm juggling all these things here. Also, while you're on the internet, please do check out our other social media like Hickok45 on Facebook. There's also Hickok45 on Twitter, The Real Hickok45 on Instagram. There's a John_Hickok45 on Instagram where I do some things. There's Hickok45.com. You can find us also on Gunstreamer. So check out all that stuff and then watch more videos.